Google search GMAT Point free tests. Click on the first link. Click on GMAT daily tests. Here you can take short GMAT tests in an exam interface. After submitting your test, you can view detailed solutions.
Hello guys, welcome to GMAT Point. In this video, we'll be discussing about how many times you can actually take the GMAT exam. The GMAT or the Graduate Management Admission Test is one of the most widely taken MBA entrance exams globally, and it's organized by the Graduate Management Admission Council, and it is a test that's known to assess the analytical and critical thinking abilities of a candidate. Now, one of the most often asked questions by a lot of aspirants is how many times can I actually take the GMAT? So in this video, we'll be discussing the same, and you'll learn about the annual and the lifetime attempts of the GMAT exam, and how do the B schools consider multiple attempts when evaluating the candidate's profile, and also the factors to keep in mind while retaking the GMAT, and also the primary benefits or the drawbacks of taking the GMAT multiple times. So let's get started. Alright, if you're someone who's planning to take the GMAT, you can kickstart your preparation with GMAT Point. You can join our Telegram group wherein you can post and discuss your queries with your peers and also the exam experts. The link to join the Telegram group is provided in the description box below. We are also launching the GMAT course very soon, and we'll be updating you immediately once it's launched. For any other queries regarding the tests or about the GMAT preparation, do reach out to us at support@gmatpoint.com. You can also WhatsApp or call us on this number 630-323-9042. So let's start with the total number of times a test taker is permitted to take the GMAT. First, let's discuss about the lifetime limit. So as of December 2016, the GMAC or the Graduate Management Admission Council has imposed a lifetime limit on the number of times a candidate can take the GMAT, and that limit is 8 times. So you cannot take GMAT more than 8 times, and regardless of how many years have passed between your attempts, the total number of times you can take the GMAT is 8. Also, the GMAC has applied this rule retroactively. That is, let's say you have taken the GMAT 5 times prior to December 2016 when there was no lifetime limit. These 5 attempts now count towards your total of 8 attempts. So if you have already taken 5 attempts, you will be having only 3 attempts left. Now let us look at some key considerations regarding this lifetime restriction rule. Let's say you have scheduled your GMAT and you have cancelled your test appointment. In that case, your exam does not count towards your lifetime limit because you did not sit for it. So if you have cancelled your test appointment, then it will not be counted as an attempt. But let's say you have actually taken the GMAT test and you're not satisfied with your score and you want to cancel it after taking the test. In such cases, as you have taken the GMAT, this will be counted towards your total limit of 8 times. So this is actually considered as an attempt. So it counts every time you have taken the actual GMAT. But if you have scheduled your GMAT and you have cancelled the test appointment, this will not be counted towards your attempts. Okay, now also let's say you have actually scheduled your GMAT but you did not cancel it, but you are a no-show on your test day. That is, you did not cancel your test but you did not show up on your exam day. In such cases, your attempt still does not count towards your lifetime limit because again you did not sit for the exam. So no matter you cancelled or did not cancel your test appointment, but if you do not sit for the exam, then it will not be counted towards the limit. That is, it will not be counted as an attempt. On the other hand, let's say you have taken the GMAT but you have cancelled your scores, then it would be considered as an attempt because you have taken the GMAT. Now the next question that's often asked is how often can you take the GMAT exam? So firstly, let us discuss the yearly limit. So you can take the GMAT no more than 5 times in a 12-month period, that is during a year. And you must wait at least 16 days between each attempt. Earlier this waiting period was 31 days, but now the waiting period is not 31 days, it's only 16 days. So let's say you have taken your first GMAT attempt on March 15th. Now you could take your next attempt after 16 days. So you can take a GMAT attempt after every 16 days, but you cannot take it more than 5 times during a year. And of course, the maximum limit of 8 times. So this is the overall lifetime limit. This is the yearly limit. You can't take it more than 5 times during a year and not more than 8 times overall. Now, what are some important factors to consider before retaking your GMAT? One of the factors is your initial test score. If you have scored less in your first attempt, that is less than your target score, then you need to consider retaking the GMAT. And usually people who have scored less than 600 will repeat the exam. And according to the official website, that is the MBA.com, candidates who scored less than 500 in their first attempt were most likely to notice an improvement in their test scores in their next attempt compared to those candidates who scored more than 500 in their first attempt. And also candidates with the GMAT score of 600 to 640 also saw an improvement in their scores, and candidates with a score of 700 or above saw only a slight improvement in their scores. And another factor to consider is, are you likely to improve your scores if you retake the GMAT? Now let's say you have retaken the GMAT and you get the same result. You might be tempted to try again for a next attempt and see what happens. Remember that unless you put some efforts to improve your scores, there is no point in taking the GMAT again and again. Although some B schools may admire your commitment to investing time and money to improve your scores, there is no point in taking the GMAT multiple times if you are scoring a similar score. And the next factor is the time availability. So do you have enough time to retake the test? Again, remember that taking the GMAT and preparing for the GMAT and taking the exam takes time. So it's a time-taking process. You need to plan again for your preparation. You need to prepare well. You need to improve on your weaknesses. And so if you have opted to retake the GMAT, make sure you have a solid strategy in place to improve your result. So consider to retake the exam depending on the time availability. So consider that retake deadline and also whether you will be able to put in that extra study time in order to improve your scores. And finally, another important factor is, can you afford the cost of retaking the test? The cost of the GMAT exam is currently around $250, and this amount remains the same whether you're taking the test for the first time or the second time or the third time and so on. So the cost of taking the GMAT will always remain the same irrespective of which attempt you're taking. So you need to keep this in mind and consider retaking the exam only if you are confident about improving your scores. Also, before taking that next attempt, you can also get an enhanced score report of your previous attempt. Getting the enhanced score report will cost you an extra $30, but remember that this can help you in improving your performance in your next attempt. So an enhanced score report is nothing but it gives an in-depth knowledge about your performance, and it's a thorough assessment of your exam execution. Basically, this report provides a complete analysis of your performance during the exam, and it's very detailed analysis by question type, the areas of attention, and also your pacing during the exam and so on. So once you analyze this report carefully, you can actually improve your performance and can even perform better in your next attempt. So thorough analysis of this report will allow you to better focus on your testing strategy, your preparation, and also the right study plan. So though it costs around something like $30, it's good to get this report because it's better to spend the $30 and understand where you lack, where you have gone wrong, which areas you performed well and which areas you did not. So that is better than spending another $250 again without knowing your strengths and weaknesses and simply taking a reattempt. So you can get this report, analyze thoroughly, and then consider taking a reattempt. And finally, another question that is frequently asked by a lot of aspirants is that, is it bad to take the GMAT more than once? And also, what are the consequences of taking the GMAT multiple times? So firstly, is it bad to take the GMAT more than once? Not really. Remember that in reality, many aspirants take the exam multiple times, and you can also do the same. In other words, while you should absolutely aim to meet your target score in your first attempt, you should also schedule your first exam, that is your first attempt, so that you have enough time before your applications are due, that is the B School applications are due, to study for some more time and retake the exam at least once. So if not 2 reattempts, you need to plan for at least 1 reattempt, just in case you might fall short of your target in your first attempt. And now, are there any consequences of taking the GMAT multiple times? Remember that the admission committees of the B School are fully aware that students actually take multiple attempts, and also in general, the admission committees will be more concerned about your results than whether you needed a particular number of attempts to achieve those marks. And of course, taking 2 or 3 attempts is definitely not same as taking 6 or 7 attempts. But fortunately for you, here you have this option of cancelling your GMAT scores that you do not want the admission committee to see. So you can only report your highest score to the B School that you are applying to. So those exam sittings with cancelled scores are not included on your official score report that is provided to the B Schools, and those colleges usually would not know that you have taken the attempt more than once. And of course, there are some times when the students would need all the 8 attempts or almost all the attempts to achieve their target score. But remember that if you are very serious about your exam, you should be able to achieve your target before these 8 attempts. that is in the initial 2 or 3 attempts or max 4 to 5 attempts. But remember that you have exhausted 4 attempts or more than 4 attempts and you're still nowhere close to your target score. Then you should reconsider your preparation for the GMAT before scheduling any other additional exams. So you need to check where you're going wrong, what is lacking in your preparation, why you're not able to reach your target score, and all such things. So you can even get the enhanced score report, analyze it thoroughly, plan well, and only then consider a reattempt. So we hope that you found this video helpful. Please do like this video, share, and also subscribe to our channel. This will encourage us to come up with more such useful videos. If you have any other doubts regarding the GMAT preparation, please put them in the comment section below. We'll try to address as many of them as possible. Thank you so much.
Do check out our B-School call predictor. Enter your details to know your chances of getting calls from top Indian and international B schools that accept a GMAT score.